What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, the Beast Bailey, and today, give a little preview for the Orange Bowl. It is Sunday. The game is on Friday, so not too long away. I gotta work. I believe I gotta work Tuesday and Wednesday this week, so I'm off Friday. I'm off Thursday and Friday, so I have to work the first. But I really wish I didn't have to. Those are the best bowl games to me. But I get to watch some hopefully on the 30th, and I get to watch a majority of the ones on the 31st. But yeah, Georgia, Michigan. A little quick preview, maybe a little rant too. I was watching an interview that Travon Walker, who's one of Georgia's linebackers. Is he a linebacker? Yeah, I think he's a linebacker. Yeah. I was watching a preview or an interview with him, and he stated one of the guys asked him a question. Said, "What is some preparation that y'all have done to prepare for Michigan?" And he said, "Well, we have we know that they're going to run the ball." So, and we know what they're going to do. They're just going to do what they've done. They're going to run the ball. That's what they're going to try to do. And that's pretty much what he said. And that's kind of a red flag to me. That's kind of a red flag. Look, and you might be wondering, why am I thinking that? Well, let me tell you why. It's a red flag because Michigan is, and that's why this game is really interesting. Not because I'm a Georgia fan. That's not why I think it's interesting. It's because these two teams match up so well. Now, Michigan is going to try to run the ball. Haskins, phenomenal running back. I think another running back is Edwards behind him. There's two of them that have they have over 2,000 yards combined between the two. Very good. That's pretty good for two running backs. We haven't seen that in a while. And so, for the most part, Georgia, they run the ball, but they run it with 4 or 5 different running backs. They split it up. Both these teams are run-first teams. So, when he said that, I'm thinking that's not good because Michigan's going to have to throw the ball to win the game. Michigan is not going to run the ball. I don't care what the Michigan fans think. I don't care what Georgia fans think. I don't care what college football fans across America and the world think. Michigan is not going to be able to run the ball like they have been the past 12 games. Now, will Georgia be able to run the ball like they have the past 12 games? That's the question as well. And honestly, they might not be much running in this game, period. Hutchinson is a really good player on Michigan's side, one of the best, probably the top 3 defensive players in the country. Georgia has Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Devontae Wyatt. That's the D-line. I don't care what anybody says. We have the best defensive line in the country. I just don't care what anybody says. Their stats are really not flashy because they rotate. We rotate guys like Nazir Stackhouse in, another D lineman who will sack you in a heartbeat. Unless you're Alabama's offensive line on December the 4th, then you won't get sacked. But any other week, Alabama's quarterback gets sacked. So the Alabama offensive line had the golden shield for December the 4th. But Nazir Stackhouse, we rotate a couple other dudes on D-line too. The linebackers, Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith. We did have Adam Anderson. He's not on the team no more. Yeah, those guys, Travon Walker. We rotate them out of that. Channing Tindall. List goes on and on. Robert Beal Jr., on and on. We rotate so much. So, on defense. Michigan has Aiden Hudson. And really, there's not anybody else kind of close to that. Really. But Hudson's going to need some help on the defense, though, to stop Georgia's run game. Now, I'm not going to sit guy here and say, is any of Georgia's running backs better than Michigan's running backs? I mean, if we were to let Zamir White and James Cook be the two sole runners, they would have they would probably have 1,500, 1,800 yards together. I would say each would have anywhere from 800 to 700 yards each, which is kind of where they're at now. But the thing is, Kenny McIntosh has yards, Dejon Edwards has yards, and Kendall Milton did too until he got hurt. So they have rushing yards too. So, I mean, that's the thing. It's just Georgia has been more passing this year with Stetson than running. And that's kind of weird to think that, but I have. I mean, you go back to the years before, Georgia's always been a run-first team, a run-first, play some defense, and that's kind of what they still are. Both these teams have good defenses, up and down good defenses, good running backs, but the quarterback play is where you might can say, okay, they're both the same. This game is the same. Both teams match up so well. I mean, it's just like it's hard to pick. It really is. Cade McNamara and Stetson Bennett are virtually the same quarterback. They are. Both have the same amount of yards. Both have almost the same amount of interceptions. But Stetson has more touchdowns. The quarterback play is really going to be the interesting factor, is because if Michigan can't run the ball on Georgia, and if Georgia can't run the ball on Michigan, it's going to come down to Cade versus Stetson. Now, you might be saying, well, how do you know Stetson's playing? Trust me, I know Stetson's playing this game. He has been the chosen one. He is the Anakin Skywalker of the Georgia football program. He has been the chosen one, the destined one to join the force. So he is the chosen one. So Stetson versus Cade McNamara. So, and honestly, who's going to win that battle? I don't know. I mean, I believe Georgia's DBs are good enough to stop Cade and the receivers. And I believe Michigan's DBs are better than Alabama's DBs. And I think Michigan could stop Stetson and the Georgia receivers. There's a couple players on both sides of the ball for Georgia and Michigan that are really going to have the best game of their life. Haskins is going to have 250 plus yards to win this game. That he's going to have 3 or 4 touchdowns on his own to win the game. If Haskins' stat line is something like 29 carries with 130 yards and 1 touchdown, Michigan's not winning this ball game, and I can promise you that. I don't care if Cade McNamara has 400 passing yards and a touchdown or 2. If Haskins doesn't have more than 3 touchdowns, they're not winning the game. I can just tell you that right now. Haskins is going to have to play his best game all year for Michigan to win this ball game. And now for Georgia, Stetson Bennett's going to have 0 interceptions to win this game. Turnovers are going to be big. Same thing for McNamara. If he turns the ball over a lot, I think that's the game, because McNamara is not a quarterback that's going to lead you to a victory. He is not going to overachieve himself, and he's not going to lead Michigan to a big victory. Stetson Bennett is the same way against a decent team. He's not going to be the front runner guy. He is not going to be the Bryce Young, the Trevor Lawrence, the Justin Fields. He's not going to be any of those guys. And same thing for Cade. He's not going to do that. He's not going to be the C.J. Stroud. He's not going to do any of that. Now, the big red flag for Michigan is, look at the team that beat them. They've only lost to one team, and that was Michigan State. Now, you might say, well, Michigan State, they're all right. They lost to Ohio State, and they beat Michigan. Michigan State was ranked 130th, dead last in passing defense. They're 130th in passing defense, and they beat Michigan. Michigan should have won the game. I watched the game. Michigan should have won it. That's coaching on Michigan's part. Too bad, so sad. Been there before, done that. But look, if you can't beat a team with the 100th and 30th passing defense, I don't know what to tell you. Coaching or not, you should not struggle in a game like that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. And, you shouldn't make dumb decisions coaching either. So that's what it is. Now Georgia, on the other hand, they just match up well. They do. Michigan and Georgia matches up well. It's going to be Stetson versus Cade. Zamir White, James Cook versus Haskins and company. Aiden Hutchinson versus the Georgia offensive line. Georgia's defensive line, the linebackers versus Michigan's offensive line. Yeah. But the matchups is going to be Ken Brock Bowers for Georgia's offense, the tight end, the freshman tight end. The dude is the best tight end in the country, hands down. Don't care what anybody says. He's to me he's going down as the best tight end in Georgia history, and Darnell Washington was supposed to be that guy, but Darnell just doesn't. Darnell has had 1 touchdown in 2 seasons, and Brock Bowers has 10 this year. 1, 0, 10. And a rushing touchdown. Brock Bowers, the California, the Cali Brody, the Cali boy. Darnell's from Vegas. With 1 touchdown, the man is 6'9". Human ladder. I mean, if Brock Bowers and Ladd McConkey don't have a touchdown apiece, and if they don't have roughly, I'd say, 80 to 130 yards each, then I think we're going to be in trouble. I think we will be then. Because will Zamir White, James Cook, and Kenny McIntosh be able to run the ball? It's going to be tough. I don't know if Kendall Milton's coming back. Kendall Milton might have an influence or not, but if we can't run the ball, and if it comes down to a Stetson and Cade, this game might be 0-0 at the half. And it might be like 3-3 going into overtime or something. Because, this game just matches up. All the people saying, oh, Georgia's going to blow them out. Oh, Michigan's just going to blow them out. Stop it. Stop it. Ain't nobody getting blown out in this game unless it's 3-0. Ain't nobody getting blown out in this one. These two, this is the most matched up, the most well matched up playoff game since the playoffs been around. These two teams match up perfectly for a playoff game. You look at 11 of the 14 playoff games that we've had been blowouts, and just absolute beatdowns. So, and one of the very few that wasn't was Georgia-Oklahoma back in 2017. That was a high-scoring, close game. Went to, I think, double overtime or triple overtime, and Georgia came out of that one. But that Oklahoma had an elite Heisman-winning quarterback, and Michigan don't have that, nor does Georgia. Georgia don't have a Jake Fromm, obviously, but, well, Stetson's like Jake Fromm. He's a game manager. But, yeah, like I said, this game's just going to come down to is who can run the ball and who can throw the ball. I don't think Michigan is going to be able to win this game just running the football. I don't see it happening. Now the reason I was worried when I said I was worried earlier about what Trayvon said is because if that is the mindset of the defense is, okay, they're going to run the ball. Well, duh, they've done that all year. But here's the thing. Michigan knows they're going to have to throw the ball unless they're dumb and think, oh, we're just going to come in here and run the ball. Hand off to Haskins. Hand to Haskins about 36 times a game, and we're going to see if Haskins can win us the game. We're going to hand it to Haskins all day long. Good luck with that. Now, if Georgia hasn't had a game on defense where a running back has really dominated the game, it's been a couple years since we've had that. But if Michigan comes out and just runs the ball down the field, let's say they had 10 plays and 70 rushing yards on the first drive in 10 plays, I might be a little worried then. But we'll have to see. We'll see. It's a good matched-up game. This ain't a prediction. This is just a little preview heading into it. Kind of like my thoughts kind of going into the game. But, yeah, if you find this video, if you're watching this video, if you make it to the end, leave a comment down below what you think is going to happen or kind of what your ideas are going to this game and all that goodness. But, yeah. And definitely there'll be some more videos coming about this game. Peace.